I'm Marie's one and only daughter-in-law. And 14 years ago, when Gordon passed away, I got up at the reception and I did a little bit on Gordon in heaven. So if you'll forgive me, I'm going to go back to the same gambit, and I am going to take a day of Marie in heaven. So Marie, her first day in heaven, she wakes up. She opens her eyes. It's 871 West Hillsdale Boulevard. She has said for years that there was a bluebird outside the window who she said was Gordon. And she goes and she looks at the window. She hears the tap, tap, tap. She goes and looks at the window. And she sees that the bluebird is indeed Gordon. And he's saying, "Let me in, you locked the damn door." And she also looks out the window and she sees that there is a young man, and he's out raking the backyard. And she's thinking, oh, the gardeners came today. So she lets in Gordon. They have a wonderful breakfast together. It's Cheerios, of course, with some fruit, because she could live on fruits and vegetables, but she won't. And anyway, they pass a lovely morning together. And then at lunch, she is going to have this is heaven, so she gets her ideal lunch. And it is the delicious, authentic Chinese food of Panda Express. And she is enjoying her very authentic sauteed prawns and her very authentic sauteed vegetables. And she is enjoying it, of course, with her beloved Gordon. And they're talking, who are they talking about? They're talking about John. And they're talking about his wife. And she notices that there's someone working at the Panda Express, and she's thinking, he looks a little bit like the gentleman who was out raking leaves in her backyard. Well, anyway, the day goes on, and who is she going to spend her ideal afternoon with but her dear stewardess friends and all of her friends who she's had over the years. So she's got Kathy Murphy, she's got Rosina Weiskopf, she's got, oh my goodness, she's got so many people around her who she's known and loved all through, Carol Wales, all throughout the years. And they're just enjoying their afternoon together. They're probably in Carol Wales's wonderful art gallery. And they're just having a blast, and it's an afternoon party, and there's a gentleman out serving a few cocktails, and of course she was the president of the Temperance Union, as she told Gordon. Oh, yeah. And so these are very temperate cocktails, of course. And she notices that the gentleman who was serving them looks an awful lot like the guy who was raking the leaves and the guy who was working in the very humble job in the Panda Express. So we get to nighttime. You guys can probably fill in what her dream evening would be, her first evening in heaven. She's gonna go out for her first blowout date in 14 years with the most handsome and wonderful guy on the planet, Christopher Reeve. I'm just kidding, it's Gordon Hall, of course. And they're having, oh my goodness, she's having her salmon, and she's having her salad in her wooden bowl. I don't know how the wooden bowl got into the restaurant. And of course, there's evening entertainment, and it's heaven. So who's there but Frank Sinatra, singing "You Make Me Feel So Young." Now, I am not going to regale you with a Frank Sinatra song because you will pick me up by all my limbs and throw me out the door. The waiter comes to the table, and she's thinking, that waiter, the guy raking the leaves. It's the guy who was in the Panda Express. It was the guy who was bringing cocktails to my girls' afternoon. And she's having a great time, but I guess even in heaven we have a few inconveniences. So she had to get up and go to the ladies' room. And as she's walking down the hallway, she walks down the hallway, and who happens to be there? But it's the man who she's seen 4 times that day. And she says, "You look really familiar." And he said to her, "Yes, of course I look familiar. 60 years at St. Gregory's Church, I really think you would recognize me after all of this time." And he said to her, "There are many mansions in heaven, and I have prepared one for you. And this is the mansion that I have prepared for you." And that is the moment that she knows that she is truly in heaven. And this is not Iowa. This is indeed paradise. We're all going to miss Marie. She was one of a kind. There will never be another one like her at any point. Thank you.